Hi, hello, good morning, my young officers. Welcome to Unacademy UPSC Articulate YouTube channel. So this is Nisha Nujumudeen, your educated Unacademy, an expert in Indian economy, current affairs, and MCQs. So here we are today with an interesting topic topic of this particular series called as Current Topics in News for UPSC Prelims 2022. And this is an early morning class wherein it will commence every day at 6 a.m. So today, due to few technical glitches, we got a little delayed, guys, and thank you so much for the patience you had, my learners. Yes, Ram, good morning. Hi, LM, Ravi, Teja, Shimanshu, good morning, all of you. So how are you all? So here we go, my young officers. Today we have, yes, Tejas, good morning. So there was some technical issue, guys, due to which it got delayed. But anyways, the class is not cancelled. It is still happening. So just inform your other learners as well. So in this particular amazing series, we have a great topic, guys, which is again from the subject area Indian polity. And the topic is linking voter rolls with Aadhaar. So now it was revolving around the news everywhere that should the voter rolls that we have, the voter ID cards we have, be linked with the so-called Aadhaar. Though Aadhaar is important, you know that as a citizen of our country, India, we need to have the voter ID as well, because it is the difference of citizenship and the difference of residency proof is totally different. So now there was a huge debate that was going on the same as well. So the question is, when we are linking this voter roll with the so-called Aadhaar, do you think, or let's say, does it violate the fundamental right of privacy? So this is a highly debatable topic which has the pros and the cons. I mean, the lighter side and the darker side. So the advantage and the benefits of linking this Aadhaar and voter ID together, and also at the same time, what are the criticisms, or let's say, what could be the biggest issue or challenge while doing so, is what we'll be discussing in today's class, followed by a balanced way forward. So now after going through the class, we'll be able to understand whether linking of voter ID with Aadhaar card is necessary, because the factor called as fundamental right of privacy that should never be violated, but somewhere or the other it is getting violated, we feel, though we have the advantage, or let's say the benefits as well. So multiple perspectives, you're going to have a look into this. Clear? Is it clear, all of you? Perfect. Yes, Vineet, good morning. So let's quickly have a look into this amazing topic of the day. So before that, you can just go through my profile as well. I'm one of Unacademy's Plus faculty, handling a lot of Plus courses and also a lot of free classes. And I have mentored 15 lakh plus students across India for various competitive examinations as a whole. You can just go through all those. And now, can you see a link that is pinned up in the chat box that consists of the link of my Unacademy profile? It will take you to this particular profile. You can follow me here and get access to all the free class called as special classes and the plus classes. So when the clock strikes 6 p.m. in the evening, do come in the Unacademy platform, guys. Download the app, use the code Nisha IAS Live, and take the brainstorming or the tricky MCQs called as UPSC level MCQs for Prelims 2022. It will be with a 360-degree coverage as a whole. Clear? So don't miss this class. It is time to test what you have studied. So that is what this particular session is all about, along with the proper quick revision of the particular concept, or let's say the topic of discussion. So you get to know what are the important points to study and what not to study and where to focus, along with the tips, tricks and method called as KEC, keyword elimination comparison, to be followed. Clear? So don't miss it. So those who want to follow me on Telegram, it is Nisha Nujumudeen for UPSC. Just go to Google. You can just type my name and Telegram. You get the link. And also in the evening 6 p.m. class, the link will be pinned. So before starting the class, here is an amazing motivational quote of the day for my young officers. What is it? Because we got to start our day, the morning like this. Be strong, but not rude. Be kind, but not weak. Be humble, but not timid. And be proud, but not arrogant. So keep these things in mind, guys. It's okay to be strong, kind, humble, proud, but never rude, weak, timid, arrogant. Because that is something that defines your personality and yourself. It's a self-reflection of what you are, right? So that's a happy morning, happy Friday morning to my young officers. And I hope this vision has really gotten inside your brain to start your day fresh with an amazing positive start in my classes. Yes, Deva? Good morning. Perfect. So here we go, my young officers, a quick look into the topic of discussion. So before that, you can just go through the Plus platform, the offers and other perspectives. Towards the end of the class as well, I'll explain the same. So now, those who have not followed the previous classes, since Jan 10 this course is running, guys. So date wise, topic wise, subject wise, I've put the topics here. You can just go through, and the playlist of this particular series is also available, so that will even be more easy for you to watch all the videos. With one link, it will take you to all the videos. Clear? So make sure that you're not missing any of these, and those who have missed the sessions and those who have not understood properly, you can literally revise these sessions once again. Clear? Because all are controversial topics, no doubt in that. Already, my young officers, quickly give me a thumbs up. Let me see. Morning, morning. Yes or no? You should be indeed very much. Because yesterday also we had a topic called as what? From the polity we had with regard to Election Commission of India, right? We had a very interesting topic. Does it appear to be more fair and transparent like how it appears? So something related to the Election Commission of India, something related to the election perspective, today's topic is also. So we have a great continuity, guys. So the method of interlinkaging will be even more easy for you people to understand. Okay, this is the way it has to be connected. Take care. Perfect. And I hope there is no audio video issues, guys, because there was a few technical issue in the morning when the class was supposed to happen. I was not able to, at all stream the live. No video, no audio of myself itself, I couldn't see. So all fine. If there is any issue, just let me know. Take care. That is why we got late today. Yes, Murugan, so happy to see you. Yes, LM, Shirag, Tejas, all for the 6 a.m. class. From 6 p.m. yesterday got inspirations because ma'am said, morning, early bird catches the worm. So that's why my young officers are here. You all have a bright future, my young officers, believe me. Because you kept up your words of coming live for the early morning 6 a.m. class. Brilliant, brilliant. Kya baat hai? Amazing, amazing. Kudos to all of you for your, dedication. Here we go, guys. The topic of the day, which is none other than linking voter ID with the Aadhaar ecosystem. And that was a decision again taken by the Election Commission of India by passing a bill and sub kuch like that, right? So let's quickly have a look into what exactly this topic is. Why are you studying this? So for that, you should know the difference of your Aadhaar and your voter ID. So I think everybody will have your Aadhaar at the same time your voter ID as well. The Election Commission of India ka voter ID. With the voter ID, your identity card only you can vote. Whereas Aadhaar means today for opening a bank account or whatever, you need to have it. Because Aadhaar is something that is a residential proof. Whereas voter ID is something which is talking about the citizenship, that you are a citizen of this country, India, and you can vote. So in your country's voting process. That is what the Aadhaar voter ID is all about. But then there are so many loopholes in Kallatrams with voter ID, multiple entries, multiple votes and stuffs like that. So basically to prevent that only, they said we got to link your voter ID with Aadhaar. But now, though that is the case also, guys, there are multiple loopholes and factors which has to be rectified. Before that, just like that, you cannot link it. But now the government is saying, no, you got to do that. So let's quickly have a look into what it is all about, the pros and cons. Then you'll be able to understand that does this so-called linkage is affecting or let's say violating the fundamental right of what? Privacy. So keep that in mind. You're going to find answers to that. Clear? So here we go. The reason why we study this is what happened was like the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021. Okay, that was passed in Lok Sabha. Now, when this was passed, the whole idea was it was basically to have a proper linkage of the electoral roll data and the voter ID cards with none other than the so-called Aadhaar system, the unique biometric identification system. So now this particular bill, which was actually passed in Lok Sabha, guys, as per the Election Law Amendment Bill of 2021, it was basically seeking to ensure deduplication of all the electoral rolls and make sure that they're providing multiple qualifying dates to whom? To the voters. But however, though this is a context also, guys, let me put it very straight up to your faces. There are a load of things which is wrong with this bill. I repeat, wrong with this bill. So in the beginning of the class itself, I'm telling you, though there are advantages also. Come on, there is something that is wrong. Itna theek nahi hai. A lot of loopholes and factors are to be rectified. Keeping all these things, if you do this, it doesn't make a sense. Did you understand, all of you? And that is what we're going to look into this class. So this is a context in which this particular topic is being chosen by me today. And I was getting a load of, requests as well from the learners like, ma'am, please do come with this topic. So due to that, again, this topic has been brought in. It was asked to me, I think, 2 to 3 days back. So I thought, chalo, it's time that I need to, go through this topic and make sure that people are on the right track. Because this is a topic which so many of you got confused also. Should you really, go through this? and what is it all about. There were multiple opinions as such. So balanced analysis will enable you people to have a clear-cut understanding of what exactly it is. Clear? Perfect. So now, this particular bill which was passed in the Lok Sabha, guys, on the very same day it was introduced. That's something which is again more surprising. So the very same day in which it is introduced, guys, this particular bill got passed also. So which means it is pre-planned. Already it was something that was pre-planned and it was very, sure that they're going to pass this as well. Don't you think so? Yes. And now when this has happened, what is the whole idea, guys? When this has taken place, not only does it undermine the fundamental premise of a parliamentary democracy, but what are they doing? It is also depriving the elected representatives the opportunities to voice their concerns over one particular issue. This is something to be considered, my young officers, which cannot be taken as a joke as well. Don't you think so? Yes or no? Yes, indeed. Indeed, this has to be considered in that case because see, the day it is introduced, it got passed. Fine, take care. But then, somewhere or the other, it has to be considered as well. Right? So now it is said that a better parliamentary scrutiny and making sure that, or let's say ensuring the rights of elected representative, that is very essential for what? For preserving the parliamentary democracy in the true sense, because India is a democratic country. We are so incredible with the cultures and beliefs and even with the kind of governance we have. So now it's very important for us to preserve what the parliamentary democracy as a whole, guys, in its true means. Otherwise, there is no point in saying that we are democratic or we are that or we are this. So thus an unwillingness to allow a meaningful debate and invite wider consultation can undo even the progressive aspects of this problematic legislation, or something which I could say you. Because the very same day it was introduced, Fatafat Lok Sabha people have passed it. Come on, that is posing a big question again. Yeah? Where are the others in the class? Did they not receive the notifications? Yes, Imanshu, Ravi, where is Rishabh, Soham and all? Now, when you all studied this particular topic called as linkage of Aadhaar with the voter ID, guys, did you all really feel that it is for the positive go? How many people say that, come on, it is a good move that you should do it? And how many of you say, come on, this has to be cross-checked once again? How many of you feel that it is actually, affecting the right to privacy? Or let's say it is, having a great impact on the fundamental rights because it's somewhere or the other violating it. Yes? These thoughts literally came into your brains. Am I right? Because it's a very common thing. You and me, forget about being a UPSC aspirant or a civil service officer that you're going to be. Common things is happening in and around you. This can affect every single common people who are in every single places. Even this is not something that is affecting only one part of the population. The entire country's population will be affected due to this. So this is something as a UPSC CSE aspirant, tomorrow when you are employed or when you are getting into service, you may be a part of the so-called election commissions, or let's say in any stuff, you can be posted anywhere. Okay. So now these are very practical things, or these are practical topics which requires your innovative ideas and your involvement to a greater extent, because this will enable you to become more involved, to contribute in the process of nation building, because you are all emerging civil service bureaucrat officers. So this kind of topics is really a brainstorming session for you people. Here you're not by hearting anything. Here you're studying the situation, analyzing the situation, and now bringing a way forward resolution out of it. So your analytical and practical capacity has been, widened, or let's say extend. Clear? Now, let's quickly have a look into the static portion of this particular topic. I told you that this bill was passed on the very same day it was introduced in the Lok Sabha. So what is this bill about? It was the Election Law Amendment Bill of 2021. So now a quick look into the static portion of this bill. Actually, the Election Law Amendment Bill of 2021, it provides for some changes, or let's say amendments as per section 23 of the Representation of People's Act 1950. So now, because of that, it will enable what? The linking or the synchronization of the electoral roll data with the Aadhaar ecosystem. And why? Why do you think that this bill was brought in? Yes, Kunal, good morning. Yeah, I am doing good. My health is better. Thank you. So now, why do you think this is brought in, guys? This election law, let's say the amendment bill, was basically brought in to curb, or they say the aim is to reduce or curb the menace or headache of multiple enrollment of the very same person in different places. For example, you and me. The same people in different places in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in Hyderabad, West Bengal, we can have enrollments. See, I belong to Kerala, but I'm put up in Tamil Nadu. But I can have different enrollments, guys, in different places and different enrollments. Even within the state, in different places, we can have enrollments. So basically, to curb or reduce that and to make the voting, or let's say the electoral process more transparent, only they say this has been brought in. But then somewhere or the other, come on, this is not, it's not working fine, right? That is what we're trying to find out. Does it really violate the fundamental, right of privacy? Is something we have to find out. Clear? That's what this, session is all about. Yes, Tejash? It's like there is a jungle and government saying go in, there's no lion. Yeah, you can even quote it like that, Tejash. Like how I told you in the geography class when you asked me for the 6 p.m. Ma'am, what is the difference between a forest and a jungle? That was a brilliant question, Tejash. I'll never forget it. No UPSC student has asked me that question, ma'am, a basic question like that. But that shows how much you guys are thinking, how much you guys are very, micro into the micro perspective of it. And that's your so-called teacher, whoever it is, couldn't answer you that. But still, I was thinking, but I answered for you. That is a different thing. But then I was wondering how much in depth you guys are finding each and everything. So this shows the dedication, commitment, and passion you have, not just for becoming IAS officers. It is the quest or the thirst for knowledge. Very good. I really appreciate you people for that. Anyways, back to class. So now this is the this is the sole, or let's say the aim or the objective why the election law or the amendment bill of 2021 was brought in. Clear? And now, in the so-called bill, guys, another important point is that the language for registration called as wives of service voters. Now, what they will do is they'll now replace them by the word called as spouse. And now this election amendment bill of 2021, what does it propose? They propose 4 qualifying days. That is the first days of the months of January, April, July, October. Because these 4 months only now elections normally happen. So then, so they are qualifying the 4, they're proposing the 4 qualifying dates, which is the first days of months, Jan, April, July, October. Why? Because they want to update the voting rules. So they'll be able to include what? All those people who have become adults, or let's say turned 18, as compared to only one date previously, that is 1st January. This is also another important change or amendment that was brought in the election amendment bill of 2021. Clear? See, when you're 18, you get the right to vote now. So now few changes in that particular context was also introduced in this. And now, do you think there is a need for this, and what could be the importance of such kind of bill? Having knowing about the challenges, that's a different scenario. But when you talk about a topic, let's initially talk about the background data, the advantage, the significance, and everything, and then we'll go to challenges. So having understood all these things, you will be able to criticize in a better manner, because we already saw the positive side. And if that criticism is standing stronger than the advantage, then it is time to take a toll on what you really want and then make a way forward out of it. That is why this kind of topics are given to you in the morning 6 a.m. class. Clear? Because these are hot topics, guys. The hot cakes of the day, in literal terms, I can tell you. Fine? Yes, my young officers. Okay. So now, what is the importance, guys? The importance or significance of the so-called, linking of voter ID or voter rolls with the Aadhaar is none other than the seeding of Aadhaar data, or let's say the linkage of this Aadhaar data with the voter. Voter identities will allow for remote voting. That is, even if you belong to a remote or rural area also, this is making the things more transparent. They are saying that even for a remote voting, yes, even for a remote voting, it has been possible. And they say it is also a measure that could help migrant voters. That is, people are working in, people are from Kerala can work in Tamil Nadu, or from Maharashtra can work in Kerala, or from West Bengal can work in Punjab. So now, even if you are not in your own state also, okay, it is said that when you kind of link the so-called Aadhaar with the voter ID, is automatically for remote voting, which is a measure that could help migrant voters. They are saying in that context. Okay, that is one point. That is the reason why you need such kind of linkage. They are saying. Point number 2, it is said that Aadhaar linking, when you link Aadhaar, it is believed to be helpful in stopping bogus voting and fraudulent votes. That is the same person having multiple entries and voting here. So to stop all that fraudulent voting, they say this is better. But then, if that is the case, guys, my question is, why you have EVM since 2003, electronic voting machines? It is not the normal counting on the ballot paper that you take it forward today. Why? Then there is no need for the EVM as such now. So that now this is actually questioning the credibility of the electronic voting machines put forward by the Election Commission of India. Remember yesterday's class we had a discussion. So you can actually compare all these things, guys, because every single point is giving you a thread or a link to the next point out there. Did you get it, all of you? Perfect. So now, another important need or significance why you need to link voter ID with Aadhaar is that the changing the language from wives to spouse. Yeah, this is a good thing because this is kind of making or looking the election amendment bill of 2021 more gender neutral. So gender neutrality, yeah, that is something to be accepted. But now, gender neutrality is okay. But with this one single point, you cannot say that linking voter ID with Aadhaar will really do the needful. Hana? So that is something to be understood. So now this is the reason, or let's say the importance or the significance of what? Of linking your voter ID or let's say voter rolls with the so-called Aadhaar ecosystem. Clear? Now we're all going in the positive note of understanding what exactly it is. Now, the next question is, in this particular election amendment bill of 2021, what provisions are amended? Now, as per the election amendment bill of 2021, this bill is proposing to amend or make a few changes in the provisions of the Representation of People's Act of 1950, guys. And also the RP Act of 1951. That is another change that they want to bring. Yes, team, IMO, what is it? How the migrant workers' name will show in other state voting event. See, IMO, it is how you know. When you link to Aadhaar, just like one nation, one ration card now, with the one ration card custom, no matter whichever place you belong to, you being a migrant worker, you can access the provisions from the PDS via the ration shop. Right. Similarly, when you link with Aadhaar, automatically it appears. Your data appears, in the system where it will be easy for you to figure it out. That is what they're saying. They're saying that it will be even more easy because the so-called technological advancements and the digitalization perspective. That is there. I've never seen it is a wrong thing. But the credibility and the authenticity is something to be understood. See, there is a difference between right for faith and right for hope. Or let's say, right for faith and let's say right for hope. So now, people should understand the difference of that when you go and fight for something. Similarly, there is a difference of right to privacy and, the right for the national security, or let's say the national perspective. So multiple topics, what is being discussed. The whole point is they fail to really understand what the really notion is all about, guys. That is the reason. Clear? So now let's quickly have a look into the other provisions as well. So just like, how they want to amend or make changes in the Representation of People's Act of 1950 and 51, they also said that as per section 23 of the RP, or Representation of People's Act of 1950, this change or amendment of the bill will definitely enable linking of the electoral roll data with the Aadhaar ecosystem. And this is why they say they want to amend it, because they want to curb or reduce what the biggest headache of amendments of multiple enrollment of the very same person in different areas. Hannah? But the objective is highly highlighted. Come on, we don't want a single person to get enrolled or let's say have a multiple enrollment in different places and cast their votes, where one will be equal to 10 votes for the so-called party or let's say the contestant that they want to do for. So one particular point, okay, that is valid. But then doesn't mean that you can, link a voter ID with Aadhaar completely without taking other steps. You take the other precautions, the other steps and make things proper and then go for this. Otherwise, the loopholes will really go around and create a lot of ruckus like this. Clear? Again, if you see few of the changes or amendments that was made as per section 14 B of the Representation Act, again, as I told you before, the 4 qualifying dates was also proposed in the so-called amendment bill, and they said first day of Jan, first day of April, first day of July, and first day of October in the calendar year as qualifying dates in relation to what? The preparation or the revision of electoral rolls. Because once you've crossed 18, based on these concerned dates, they can vote. And again, changing the word wife with spouse, making it very gender neutral. That is as per section 20 of the Representation of People's Act and section 60 of the Representation Act. This is just for you to know as per which sections these amendments have been made. So when you say that the government has made a lot of amendment, or let's say in the Lok Sabha when this has been passed, simply they will not pass a bill. Taking into consideration the Representation of People's Act of 1950 and 51 as per various sections, only they will do the following changes. So for you to have a better understanding, a credibility, okay, just like that they never changed. As per various sections existing in the constitution of our country only, amendments have been made. But then, is it really serving the purpose? That is something to be understood. Hannah, here we go. Yes, PV Rao, ma'am, how to remember this section? Very simple, PV. As far as polity is concerned, you can definitely go for Lakshmikant textbook, and I will tell you to write the articles, right from the article 1 to article 324 or 326, whatever it is, whichever is important for you. So now, article, objective. So now when you see and stick them on your room or wherever, so every now and then when you see those article and objective, the keyword, it goes into your brain. And now as far as this particular topic is concerned, it's Aadhaar and voter ID. It talks about the representation of people. We all know that. So representation of people and the year 1950 is something that comes to your brain. After independence in 2 years, 3 years, it was brought in. So using the method of interlinking and such kind of connections, it will be easy for you. Clear? Yes, Rao, there are tricks. There are mnemonics tricks for that. Probably in the special classes once I'll take that for you all. Take it. It is easy to memorize also. You come for the 6 p.m. class, there a lot of tricks and tips have been explained. So download the Unacademy app, use the code Nisha is live and watch the free classes. There are multiple tricks, tips, sab kuch has been taught to you in that MCQ wala class. Clear? Now, back to the topic of discussion, which is none other than the so-called linking of voter ID with Aadhaar ecosystem. The significance, or let's say why it was amended. Now it is said that any woman officer's husband can act as service voter. Did you understand? And now apart from that, again, if you see as per section 160 of the Representation of People's Act of 1951, as per the changes or amendments made in the election bill of 2021, it also enables the requisition or the requirement of the premises which are needed for being used as, let's say, the polling stations, then which is required for the counting purpose, then for storing of all these ballot boxes, voting machines. Today we have the EVM, there's electronic voting machines, then all the poll related materials, etc., after the poll has been taken. Okay? And the security forces, the polling personnel, all these things will be notified under section 30 of the above said act. Clear? This is a high, they're saying that it will be even more secured and no collaterums can take place. That is why this particular amendment or change, the so-called bill is taking place. That's what they're saying. And linking voter ID with Aadhaar card, they're saying this will do the needful. Do you really think it will do the needful? It has to be really questioned, guys. Seriously. Now, having understood the importance of the so-called linkage of Aadhaar with voter ID card stuff and also the amendments, what was election amendment bill of 2021, the other sections and all. Let's quickly have a look into the advantage. What could be the real advantage of linking the Aadhaar data with electoral data? Point number 1. For example, if you're a new applicant, guys, to vote, then the new applicant may voluntarily provide Aadhaar number along with the application for the purpose of what? Identity. See, what is Aadhaar, guys? You tell me what is Aadhaar. You go and take an Aadhaar. It is a KYC. Know your customer, all the details will be given. Your name, your date of birth, the place of birth. See, Aadhaar is something, try to understand. It doesn't mean that because you have an Aadhaar, you are an Indian citizen. Aadhaar is a proof for your residencyship. And today in every single thing, be it your bank accounts, be it wherever beneficiary stuff, if you want to get a welfare or let's say another subsidy by the government, all these are linked via Aadhaar and all the bank accounts and stuff like that. But what is voter ID? That is showing the citizenship. It is not the proof of your residence, guys. Aadhaar is exclusively for that. So now you tell me, even a person who's staying in India, let me tell you guys what is happening in a country, India, I'm telling you. I've told this before also. A person from another country who's been staying for so many years, if you give a little of money, believe me, you get Aadhaar also. Really, you get Aadhaar. One of my own very friend is having that. I don't want to tell the name, but come on, tomorrow somebody can come and tell me, ma'am, how could you even tell that openly? I've told in the special classes. You remember? So now, because the person was here in India for let's say like 10 years, or let's say 9 to 10 years, doesn't mean that Aadhaar can be issued for the person. So it's just a proof of identity. The concerned person is the proof of identity. You understand? So now that is something which has become more common. But to get a voter ID, come on, he or she cannot vote. Just because they have the Aadhaar proof or something doesn't mean that he or she is an Indian citizen and they have the right to vote. No, that is not the case. So when you link your Aadhaar with electoral, this particular question becomes a huge topic of debate. But in spite of that, let's talk about the advantage here. They're saying that the pros or the advantage of linking Aadhaar data with electoral roll is you'll be able to, voluntarily provide the Aadhaar number for the purpose of identity, the applicant. However, whatever is the case, also no application will be rejected on the grounds that Aadhaar number has not been given. That is also true. See, just because you didn't give the Aadhaar number, nobody is going to reject the applications also. Because voter ID is the most important thing. Clear? So that is also something to be understood. And now when you start linking the Aadhaar with electoral roll, another important advantage is that there is a major problem or issue, guys, in the electoral database management, where you can see multiple or let's say 2 to 3 enrollments happening of the very same people at different places. This you can actually avoid. That is one thing. And see, the reason why you can see multiple enrollment is because, let's say for example, one person is put up in a job where he or she has multiple transfers, or let's say a normal or a casual worker in search of job from one state another state, from Bengal to Maharashtra, from Maharashtra to UP, from UP to Kerala, from Kerala to Tamil Nadu. They keep going like this. They're kind of migrant. Even the formal sector employees have been shifted, given transfers and all. And just think about the informal sectors. They also keep going in search of jobs and all. So now this frequent shifting of residents by the electors and getting enrolled in new place without deleting the previous enrollment is another important reason why they say linking Aadhaar with electoral roll can even get access for the remote voters. It is a measure which will help the migrant workers to vote. That is a biggest advantage point that they are telling. See, that is there. But Kallataram can also take place is what the other criticism people are telling. We will wait and see what that is all about. So just keep this big advantage in your brains, guys, because these advantages is something which is very, very important. Yes, Ram Kumar? Perfect. So do y'all feel, guys, this advantage is making some sense? Yes, it does make some sense. We cannot say that the advantage doesn't make some sense. It does make. But you have to wait and see, wait and watch what is next as well, right? So here we go. Now, the next important advantage of this linking Aadhaar with the voter ID is that once the Aadhaar linkage is achieved, now this electoral roll data, that particular electoral roll data system will instantly or fatafat alert the existence of the previous registration. Whenever you or me, we are going and applying for a new registration. So your background information or whenever you're registered, all the details will fatafat come. So a complete transparency happens where the person belongs to, where he or she has been registered already, where they have voted or whatever. All these data comes. That is another advantage they are saying. And now because of this, what happened? Don't you think so? It helps in cleaning the electoral data roll to a greater extent? Yes. At the same time, it is also facilitating the electoral registration in the location in which they are ordinarily resident. They may not belong to that place, but because of migrations, they are just ordinarily resident. So you will facilitate the electoral registration of that person in that particular location currently where they are put up. So it's where they can vote. They are not denied of their voting rights as a whole. So this is another important advantage to be understood. Yes, PV Rao, ma'am, for migrants also, there will be some limited time in Aadhaar. There will be some limited time in Aadhaar in the you mean to link them? See, there will be a period given to them for the linkage. Before that, they should do it. Just like how you link your Aadhaar and PAN. There was a time limit given for linking Aadhaar and PAN. See, that makes a sense here. Linking Aadhaar card with PAN card that makes a lot of sense for the transactions. But linking your, what do you say? The voter ID in Aadhaar is something to be really considered. In spite of the multiple advantage and the importance what I'm teaching you, you wait and watch the criticisms. The most highlighting part of the class is only going to come. That will fuel up the fire inside your brains. Come on, yaar, itna theek nahi hai. Something is wrong. We got to do something. That is why I'm showing you the good sides and what are the positive stuff of this linking voter ID with Aadhaar. See, I'll take you initially in the positive way and then you criticize. See, having understood the strength of one particular person, then when you criticize, it makes a sense for them to improve. Similarly, this particular topic has a lot of advantage and importance. So inch by inch, point by point, we'll completely finish it with the 360-degree coverage. And then when you go to criticism, you yourself can check, cross-check without anybody telling you, Arey, we have so many advantages. But this criticism has to be really looked upon. Having understood the benefits of the topic, you got the point? This is the way to analyze such kind of topics, guys. Take care. Yes, Rishabh, good morning. And thanks for taking this topic. Sorry for late joining. No worries. I remember even you, Soham, all these people were telling me, Rishabh, for the same topic. I told you, give me some time. I'll come with the topic. The reason is I do a real research of the topics to present in a different way. And today the class started a little late also, Rishabh. Even I had some technical issues. Pata nahi kya hai wo hai. It was not working for me. Don't know whether it's a network issue or something else. But anyways, after restarting my system and sab kuch, it worked. And I didn't want to cancel because this is a very, very, what do you say, a viral or a controversial topic, which people should know. So that too our early morning class. Now, early morning will make your brains work even better. Anyways. And now, did you understand all of you till here? Very clear? And also when you have some topics like this, now do come and tell me. See, and the reason why I took this topic today is, yesterday we had Election Commission of India. So after knowing about the Election Commission of India and its transparency, when you talk about this voter ID, it makes a sense because it is connected to the election perspective. So under the Election Commission of India, only this topic is also coming. So that the method of internal engaging, the method of systematic way of studying is even more happening in our classes. So there is no need for you to be worried. Like, you don't have the basics or anything, because yesterday very well we did. So today when I take this topic, come on, it is completely covering the entire topics at one stretch without leaving any confusions or question marks into your brain. So guys, it is not about studying. Let me tell you one more thing. It is not about you keeping on and on studying. How you study, what you study, the way you study. I repeat, how, what, and the way. That is very, very important. The method of interengaging exclusively introduced by me in all my sessions, especially the 3C method of interengaging. Concept, comprehensive, and linking with the trending current affairs. This ultimate mantra will take you to greater extent, not only for economics, guys, for anything out there, believe me. So now I want all of you to do the same as well. You just imagine yesterday's class. Those who missed yesterday's class, you can go and watch them. But those who attended it live, Election Commission of India, you studied everything under that. And today, voter ID. That is why when I spoke about this voter ID linkage of Aadhaar, they said to make the elections and the ballot paper stuff more transparent. Then why did the government introduce in the year, or let's say the Election Commission of India introduced in the year 2003 the EVM, electoral voting machine? Why was that introduced? Basically to have a more transparency. So if that is the case, and why are you coming and telling that we need to link Aadhaar with voter to make it more transparent? It doesn't make a sense. Because you studied that yesterday, you are questioning when you see some advantage points in this topic as a whole. You got the point? Because these kind of topics requires a research, guys. Simply taking a news article and telling you doesn't make a sense. We are analyzing the UPSC level. So as I told in the beginning of the class, this is not only for UPSC people. You won't believe I have so many learners who are non-UPSC people, who are from state examinations, from banking. I even have political people who watch this. Can you believe? I have a lot of learners in YouTube who may not be exclusively writing the UPSC, but they watch my classes of current affairs on certain topics or whatever, just because they can update it. I even have people of the age bar who's 45 and 50 and 60 also. Because I do get feedbacks and comments from them. Keep doing this. This is a very good analysis. So now this makes you feel very good. Come on. Even the corporates are coming and watching the class just because, not because they want to become an IAS officer. Their age is 45, 50, for example. Because the knowledge they capture. So that is making me analyze every single topic in the UPSC level, which is the brilliant level, and in a different takeover perspective. So that is something to be understood, guys. And I want all of you also to do the same thing. And keep sharing this class. Keep sharing the link of this class. Every day night by 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I post the poster and the link in all the Facebook, in the Facebook 35 to 36 groups, then Telegram and WhatsApp, all my social media circles, Insta, sab kuch. So get it from there. In Insta, the link is also popping up because of the followers thing. I have the link popping up. So you can even take it from there also. Otherwise, very simple. In this YouTube channel, you subscribe it, right? Click for notifications, which like the video which you're watching. So you get personalized notifications of 6 a.m. my morning classes. Simple. That will do the needful. So multiple things like this are available. So you can do that and make sure you follow it. See, live is live, guys. Believe me. Recorded you can watch. I'm not saying not to do that. You can watch it for your benefit. You can watch it for your understanding. All these things are there. But then morning when you come and sit, it is actually through these sessions now, guys. I want to create a habit for you people wherein you are preparing your day or you're starting your day for a purpose. Because you keep an alarm in the last day and night, and you're like, you're thinking, okay, I need to wake up this time, 5:30 or let's say 6 a.m. because I have to attend a class. Why class? It's not just for you to, write and win some exam. For your knowledge plus for reframing yourself. And when you start today with such amazing topics, you are becoming more and more, stronger in the grasping power. I repeat once again, early bird catches the worm. Your grasping power is 99.9% higher in the morning time compared to the night time. Night time, you see, that is like that. Even if you like to study at night also, the difference is there. The grasping power of a person is the highest. Psychologically and scientifically, it is proven. It is highest in the early morning. That is how our body is. You understand? So try to utilize this, guys. Whatever you study in the early morning, you'll never forget. Even if you are not in a habit of studying early morning also, you try this and see. Believe me, 21 days continuous practice, I'll write and give you. That will become a habit for you. And now we started on Jan 10th, right? That is the reason, guys, even on Sundays, I didn't give a leave for you. Even on Sunday, I took a class because I want this habit of you people to continue. I am not just worried about just bringing a topic and taking a class for you. For me, along with this, I want my learners to kind of have a proper schedule for them, a proper reformation to them. So that is a part of mentoring again. Mentoring is not coming and talking, you do that, you do this. No, that is all not mentoring. That is a part of mentoring. The real mentoring is making you do without your own consciousness that this is something that you need to do. Creating that stuff inside you. Come on, I need to really do this. Because ma'am has said that. It's also part of mentoring. There are students who never even wake up in the morning. I know that. Today they keep alarm and wake up. Be it Deva, be it Soha. I think Deva gets a Soham and all will never do. Even Kunal, I don't think. You are also a lazy bird only. Hannah Kunal? But I'm so happy to see all of you. And that when I saw Ram and when I saw Tejas, Himanshu, Ravi and all, I was very happy. They really sure they came to the class. Good to see that. But we missed PK, we missed others. Yes, Kunal, I said the truth. Don't laugh. Where are your other friends? Nicely, they're sleeping. Where is Gudia and where are the others? Go tell them to come quickly. They are missing these wonderful classes. Let me tell you that. Anyways, back to the topic of discussion. So now, did you understand the advantages, guys, and the supporting points as to why you should link your voter ID with Aadhaar ecosystem? Perfect? Yes, LM, I woke without alarm. Arey, kya baat hai, where level? Yes, speaking. You live 100 years. I just spoke about you and you came. Yes, Rishabh, thank God you didn't. I told about you in the beginning there, Rishabh, that you also come. Acha, with regard to lazy stuff, I didn't say, but whatever, you come, I know you come, you're a nice chap. See, because of you guys coming regularly only, such kind of, you tell me, a teacher will have a plan. But I make sure that my plans are also in lieu with what my learners or my students wants. What the audience is looking forward. See, such kind of topics also, I frame it in such a way because my learners have demanded it. So again, it is because of you people. Why? My regular learners, you people are coming in the morning. So if I don't do this for you, then what is the point of calling myself a student-friendly teacher? Hannah, that is the thing. Yes, Murugan? Yes, there's just 21 days of practice and brain starts to do automatically. Yes, absolutely. Write it out anywhere. This will happen. Don't worry, tomorrow Saturday is actually Monday to Friday only this class is there. But tomorrow also you will have 6 a.m. That will be special series. I am not going to leave you on Saturday. Even Sunday you will have. I'm not going to leave you on Sunday also. If I catch your brains tight now only, this will make a sense. Take care. The evening class I won't take on Sunday. Don't worry. But morning class, let me make this practice for you. Then it will do a lot of sense. Anyways, so these are back to the topic of discussion. These are the most important advantages of linking your so-called Aadhaar data with the electoral data. Take care. Now, let's quickly have a look into the criticism. So now it's high time, the most important part of the series of linking our voter rolls with Aadhaar. Does it violate the fundamental right of privacy? That particular topic, what we're discussing today, is coming in the limelight. So now, point number 1 with regard to the criticism is, this linkage, guys, when you link your voter roll with Aadhaar, what happens is like, it has multiple disadvantages out there. And let me tell you one honest thing, guys, a biggest fact out there is, as per the Aadhaar Act, okay, nowhere in the Aadhaar Act, it allows for the linkage of Aadhaar with the electoral roll. So the Aadhaar Act itself does not permit linkage of them with the electoral roll. Then what are we talking? Why are we even talking about linking the Aadhaar with voter ID? That becomes a very big question mark as a point of criticism. And now this Aadhaar, why is it put forward, guys? As per the Aadhaar Act, it is basically an act which is for the targeted delivery of financial and also other subsidy benefits and services for the people. It's a proof of their residentship, where they're staying. And this particular unique number will enable them to get all the benefits and subsidies of the government directly into their bank accounts, where the factor called as financial inclusion, the factor called as DBT, direct benefit transfers, is happening to the people. The JAM Trinity, Gen Aadhaar Mobile Trinity, and making them more digitally literate, financially literate. So then they get to know things better, especially the rural people. And the corruption can be reduced to a greater extent. That is why Aadhaar was brought in, which is a unique biometric identification and all. Okay? Now, linking that with the voter ID, which is something to do with the citizenship or the electoral perspective, is something to be questioned. The purpose of Aadhaar was totally different when it was introduced as per the Aadhaar Act. So now you tell me the Act does not allow for linking of Aadhaar with electoral. Then why are we even talking about this? That was the number one criticism that was brought in. Clear? Yes, PK, all fine. Thank you. I'm all fine. Thus, the linking of voter ID with Aadhaar. Again, come on, this is the hit list topic or point to be understood as what I kept in my, poster. The poster of this particular session talks about what? It really violates. I ask you that, does it violate the fundamental right of privacy, linking of Aadhaar with voter roll? I asked a question like that in the poster. That is a topic of discussion today. And yes, it does. And there is a proof also. You know the Puttaswamy case, right? In that Puttaswamy case, the linking of voter ID with Aadhaar is violating the fundamental right of privacy. That's what they defined also. So literally the proof of a case, what it has happened, has already been telling you, yes, it is violating. And thus, I can tell you that Aadhaar is what? Point number one, it is only meant to be a proof of residence. Where do you stay? You understand? For example, I am from Kerala, guys. I have my Aadhaar in Kerala only. But for so many years, I'm put up in Chennai. Tomorrow, if I, for some purpose, I can even change my Aadhaar to Chennai address. Because there's a provision like that. Or within Kerala itself, if I shift from one place to another, I can do that. You understand? So now that doesn't talk about my citizenship. But whereas your voter ID is not like that. It's a proof of your citizenship. So in our country, only citizens are allowed to vote. Anybody other than that cannot vote. As I told you, people from other countries, after staying so many years, they can have the Aadhaar if they own a property or whatever here. But voter ID, they cannot because they are not a citizen. So how can they even think of coming and voting in the electoral perspective of our country? You got the point. For us, only citizens are allowed to vote. That is why we are called as Indian citizens. Clear? So now, why do you really want to linkage the citizenship with the residentship perspective? Tell me that. You understand? Yes, PK is having a doubt with regard to what is it, not PK, PV Rao. What is Puttaswamy case? See, Puttaswamy case, now that is because 2 years ago, in August 2017, what happened was like a 9-member bench of the Supreme Court in Justice K.S. Puttaswamy case versus the Union of India. That was held, guys. That was basically, it was held because they said that Indians have a constitutionally protected fundamental right to privacy. And that is very, very important. That is an intrinsic part of life and liberty as per Article 21. And it was held that privacy is not a joke. It is a natural thing. You and me, we need it, and that inheres in all the natural persons. And that right may be limited or restricted only in certain conditions. Clear? And you cannot just, restrict it like that. And privacy judgment as a guiding tool, that was what this particular case was all about. It is revolving around the fundamental right of privacy as a Puttaswamy case. And because of that only, a lot of steps were taken by the central government to strengthen the privacy regime. Because privacy is very important. In that, the Information Technology Act was more strengthened. Then national security versus privacy. Even the Pegasus case. Recently, the Pegasus software. That also, I have taken this topic in the editorial for you people. Remember, in the Pegasus also what happened? We are kind of, focusing on what? National security is important. Getting data of people is important. But then, hacking into somebody's WhatsApp or somebody's other, social media or any other personal stuff, it is a threat of the privacy. No doubt in that. So, national security versus privacy are two different things. Right to privacy and versus national security. That has to be understood in two different perspectives. So that is what the Puttaswamy case was also all about. Clear? Anyways. So now this is the biggest criticism, guys. So this has to be kept in mind. Okay. Now, having understood this, the next important point of criticism is what is the government's rationale? Come on, this is enough. Criticism I have taken only, I think, 2 points. But because these 2 points are the valid points. If I take too many points, we'll be confused. To the point which is cross-cutting every other advantage of the linkage of voter ID with Aadhaar, this point will do the needful. To the point discussion this is. Now, what is the government's rationale? What does government think? What do government feel that what has to be done? Rationale means a correct decision. Now, a parliamentary standing committee report was put forward, and that was on demands of grants of the law of ministry, and that was released in the last year, guys, on March 2021. And that has also been advocating a lot of linkage of the unique Aadhaar number with voter ID. Even that was also telling that. And now this proposal, okay, on the same day, unanimously, guys, without even a single objection, this proposal has been approved by the Parliamentary Committee on Law and Justice. How can that be the case? That is something that surprised everybody. Even the political analysis was surprised because of this. But though that is the case also, it is not clear that if it specifies or it talks about the specifics of the bill, because that which had been discussed widely in public opinion sought, that is also something it is not that clear again. Though that is the case also, this is something not clear. And now, to support this argument, few important examples are taken, guys. If you see, as per the Supreme Court judgment which was taken place in the year 2015, the Election Commission has started a National Electoral Roll Purification Authentication Program. So now already these things are there. Then why do you want to link your Aadhaar with voter ID? And that time, when the Supreme Court, in the judgment of Supreme Court, Election Commission had started this National Electoral Roll Purification Authentication Program, they also wanted to link Aadhaar to voter IDs in a bid to delete duplicated names. See, that time it was like they want to delete all the duplicated names. They wanted to avoid multiple entries and stuff like that. But today, it is taking a next stall. It is taking you to a next level where, taking into consideration the other scenarios and conditions of a country, India, this becomes a very big question mark. Clear? And in the year 2015, Supreme Court also made it very clear that Aadhaar card scheme is purely voluntary. Let me tell you that. See, Supreme Court said that as per the judgment, the Election Commission had started such kind of national electoral roll purification and all. And they wanted to link Aadhaar to voter ID. Okay. And the whole idea is to delete duplication of names and multiple representations and all. But the very Supreme Court said that you cannot force a person, hey, go and take Aadhaar. Today, Aadhaar is important. Every person, even a child requires Aadhaar for getting an admission in school. You understand? But that time, in the year 2015, the very Supreme Court's judgment was made, they made it very, very clear that Aadhaar card scheme is not mandatory at all. It's purely voluntary, your choice. And it cannot be made mandatory till the matter is finally decided by whom? By this court itself. Today it is mandatory, but that time they said that also. And now if you see, currently what happened, the EC, Election Commission, has issued necessary instructions to the chief electoral offices of the states or UTs, specifying that furnishing of Aadhaar number by electoral is not mandatory and is only optional. See, furnishing of Aadhaar number, they themselves is saying, you see this. This is like a joke out of the wall, guys. They themselves is saying that Aadhaar number is not mandatory. They're furnishing of them. It's just optional. Then why are you saying linking a voter ID with Aadhaar is very important? What sense it makes? You think in Aadhaar they don't do Kallatram? Aadhaar also you can see people with two Aadhaar number also. I don't know how they do the Kallatram, but that is happening actually. Let me tell you that. Clear? So now, the whole point is, how do you think, guys, will benefit the people? How would the reforms benefit the people? Such kind of linking of voter with Aadhaar. Now, do you think such kind of reforms can benefit the common people like you and me? Let's quickly have a look into it. The Election Amendment Bill of 2021. Now, this can today allow for remote voting. As I told you, a measure that could help migrant voters. And the 4 qualifying dates, that is Jan, April, July, October. These 4 months now, for the revision of rolls will help in faster enrollment of those people who have turned 18, because every time an election is happening now, people are worried about the new voters. The ones who turned 18, especially the college students now who completed the 12th and going to college. The first vote, they'll be very enthusiastic and they're the ones who are really willing to vote. Always they have been focused because more number of new votes come that time. So now this is very, very important. So they say in that particular context, yeah, it is useful. Not only for the people, I mean for the election commission, because the factor called nota is not coming, and the factor called, more of active participation of the people in the election process is widening. So in that perspective, it is an advantage for the election commission, but not for the people as a whole directly. You got the point. But here, this is what the reforms they are telling. Clear? And now, though we have all this amendment, Mera young officers, there are multiple criticisms to be understood. What are the criticism behind this amendment, guys? One is achieving the objective. Hai na? Now, one of the most important concern is whether this bill, which has been passed in Lok Sabha, Election Amendment Bill of 2021, whether the implementation of this bill will be successful if the linkage is not compulsory. They say that it is not necessary that Aadhaar details should be furnished, it is optional. And then you are telling that you got to link your voter ID with Aadhaar. What connection is there? So one of the biggest objectives is whether the bill's implementation will be really fruitful if the linkage is not compulsory. Did you understand? Yes, Tejas ma'am, but this can happen with Aadhaar also. Of course, it can happen. That is why I'm telling you, linking Aadhaar with voter ID has so many loopholes. One is it is violating the fundamental principle of right to privacy. Second is it has no logic at all at some point of time. So you look at this here. According to the amendment bill, they themselves is providing Aadhaar data is voluntary and not mandatory. Then why would you really think of linking it? What sense does it make? When you are so strong in what you want to say vocally, what sense does it make? You got the point. And according to this bill, providing Aadhaar data is voluntary and not mandatory and compulsory. And even though the Aadhaar requirement is said to be voluntary, listen, it is not voluntary or by your choice, there is a concern that in practice it can be mandatory. What nonsense is that again? So now it is contradicting what they have said. They say that it is voluntary, but then in practice they are saying, come on, this they can make it mandatory. Actually, what are you saying? They're saying it is voluntary, but then in practice, when you're linking the voter with Aadhaar, it is becoming mandatory. You are actually, providing the Aadhaar data, the so-called 12-digit unique Aadhaar number is given. So where is the voluntary stuff coming? Can you go and say, no, you cannot do that? It becomes mandatory there. You got the point. So the usage of words is something which has to be understood by young officers. Clear? Yes, Rishabh, but ma'am, when DPSC comes in, FR goes out. You wait and see what is the next thing that comes here. Because this is something which, they need to understand the greater strength. Yes, Rao, ma'am, I think they want to make Aadhaar card as green card. You go to US, you'll get all the green card there. To become a green card citizen, that is totally different. Anyways. So now, this is the biggest criticism, guys, behind the, amendment with regard to achieving the objective. And now, the reason on the basis of which a person can choose not to link the Aadhaar will be prescribed by the government. They say Aadhaar is voluntary and not mandatory. But then they say, come on, it becomes mandatory. In practical purpose, when you want to link the voter ID, it becomes mandatory. Yeah? You say you're going and linking your voter ID. What? Just by showing a name in the Aadhaar, you link it? No, your so-called Aadhaar number and details have to be furnished. So what is the point of voluntary stuff there? It becomes mandatory, right? And they're saying that the reason on the basis of which a person can choose that he or she doesn't want to link, or let's say if I do want to link my Aadhaar or you don't want to link your Aadhaar, that will be again prescribed by the concerned government. But now, the choice not to submit is linked to a sufficient cause. The cause should be very much valid, and then the choice is to not to submit is over there. However, the next joke of the day is the sufficient cause clause that is not mentioned in the Election Amendment Bill of 2021. Then how can you say that the choice not to submit is again linked to a sufficient cost? Because sufficient cost clause is not at all mentioned in the amendment bill. That is the next criticism. And thus, the complaints of wrongful enrollment in the UIDAI that has also come up even through the unique identity number, and that has allotted to more than 90% of population, guys. More than 90%, yes, including children are having it, right? So now, these are the biggest criticisms, guys, or let's say the biggest loopholes with regard to the amendment, behind the amendment of this particular bill, or changes with regard to the Election Amendment Bill of 2021 in a very, very practical perspective. Don't you think so? These points are taken after going through so many analysis, after really reading multiple articles, guys. From 6 to 7 authenticated sources, this has been framed. Okay. So now you have to understand them in the right way. Because every single point, whatever I'm talking, has a lot of impact. So make sure that you are making a note of it and don't be without having a look into it. Now, The next one, exclusion of foreigners. See, this is something which you need to understand, guys. Now, there is a conceptual confusion whether linkage of Aadhaar will enable non-citizen to vote, as Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship. That is very true. That is what we were discussing. See, Aadhaar is a proof of residency. So even a foreigner can have an Aadhaar. But the question is whether he or she will be able to be a part of the country's election perspective or to vote in our country. Because Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship. So that becomes a question mark. So now the goal of preventing non-citizens from voting will not be solved. When you keep linking all this, they can also do that. So now they were telling that one person and multiple entry is a big issue and they want to curb that headache and all. Now, forget about one person, multiple entry. People who are not even citizen is gonna come and be a part of the voting process. What nonsense it is? Does it make any sense? In future, it will be like that also. Then how can you call ourselves democratic and how can we call ourselves citizenship? What is the meaning of citizenship, guys? You have some exclusive rights compared to the other foreign nationals who are in your country who come to your country as well, right? So citizenship is not a joke. It is something that is exclusively the right of you on certain areas of perspective. If it is becoming more liberal and commonized, then what is the point? So multiple things like this has been taken into consideration. Clear? Yes, PK, what is it? Aadhaar data protection is challenging issue, ma'am, if they make it as mandatory. Obviously, it is. That is why I told you, my dear, fundamental right of privacy. It is violating it. You understand? But the bill itself is saying that it is not mandatory, it is voluntary. Then they say in practice it becomes mandatory. What a joke of the day. What nonsense is that? Have a look into the statement, the last one. The criticism behind the amendment I have told you. Saw the last statement here. So this is something which is very, very, ridiculous at some point of time to really have a look into it. Now, the next is profiling of citizens. Now, individual identification of voting choice. Again, that is not at all possible, guys, without, let's say, it's not possible with the linkage of Aadhaar. However, this will lead to profiling. Now, when you kind of verify a person's identity, when a person is going to vote, is totally different. Or let's say it's separate from the capturing of identity. When you go to vote, you're getting a person's identity. That is okay. But that is different from when you're capturing the identity way before that via this linkage and stuff like that. What they do, what the address, etc., etc., etc. So now this is very little. The criticism is that the biggest criticism of this is that it is laying a foundation indirectly of the targeted political propaganda. I repeat, it is laying the foundation of the dirty politics out there, or let's say the targeted political propaganda, because that is against the MCC. What is that? Model Code of Conduct, which is brought by the Election Commission of India, which lays down the principles or the guidelines how elections should be conducted. What are the things to be followed by the candidates or the political parties to make sure that the elections are conducted in a fair, free and transparent manner. Yesterday's class, remember I taught you all this. So now this is a very, very valid point, guys. Ekdam valid point. Don't you think so? Now you have a look into this topic, guys. Just read it. The targeted political propaganda. How smart they are. You see this? You think people don't understand all this stuff? We are fools sitting out there. The citizens are fools. No, we are not. We are 2 times stronger in our brains because we are Indians. That is why it is said that it's very difficult to fool the Indians, easily in such kind of matters, because maybe you can fool the people who are illiterate, but not the ones illiterate to a greater extent. Because every now and then criticisms will keep coming like that. You got the point? So this is the highlight, my young officers, the highlight of this topic. Yes, Rishabh? I said the reality. Seriously, this is something which is a crystal clear truth, let me tell you. Anyways. Now, the next important criticism is security vulnerabilities. Security vulnerabilities, guys. That is, in 2019, the UIDAI accused some IT grids and Indian private limited guys because they were illegally, without any legal perspective, they were procuring or collecting all the details of Aadhaar holders in the state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And they started storing these in database. So now the question of right to privacy is affected. So now illegally you're getting all the Aadhaar details, their address, their phone number, their every other details. Don't you think so? It's not, whatever could be the case. In the database, they cannot do that, but they did that. And now this raises concern regarding the security vulnerabilities of the UIDAI servers. So what security we have when everything has been leaked out? And if you see, not only this, guys, previously also there were some attempts like this. Let me quickly take you to the background data for better understanding. Take care. If you see in the year 2014, you know what happened? The Election Commission of India, they actually conducted 2 pilot or temporary programs on linking voter ID with Aadhaar and all in the districts of Nizamabad and Hyderabad in Andhra itself. Today in Telangana, Hyderabad is. So that time only the Election Commission of India, they launched something called as NERPAP, that is your NERPAP, the National Electoral Roll Purification and Authentication Program. That's happened in the year 2015 as a part of this. But there also they said Aadhaar is not is voluntary and not mandatory. That is very much clear there. Unless and until it is made mandatory by whom? By the concerned Supreme Court judgment. Clear? However, though that is the case also, what happened? A Supreme Court order on the very same year, 2015, halted the program. It was having a stop for the program. Unfortunately, the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, had nearly completed for all its residents. Already data has been captured. They have done it. But then Supreme Court said, come on, let's halt the program. A complete stop to it. So now, what about your privacy? What about the other perspectives out there? Already linkage has happened. So this is having a great toll on the citizens of our country, India. Don't you think so? Yes, it is. This is a very good example that you can put it out. Now, this happened to one particular state. Now, you want the entire other states and unity of our country, India, to undergo the same thing? Is that what the Election Commission of India and the government is saying? Forget about ECI. It is not actually the idea of ECI. It's through the government that comes. You understand? So now multiple things like this is actually real dirty political propaganda, guys, to get into the loopholes of people. No doubt in that. Clear? Yes, Ravi, I have been to USA and there, ma'am, I have seen every citizen knows their rights. Obviously, Ravi, it is. Which means in our country, India also we need to know, and yes, we have to. It's not one part of population. It's every single people, even be it in rural area, they should be politically very much aware of what is happening and what is their rights. Over here, what others tell you, even if it is not their rights, they tend to believe that they get easily fooled like that. Very simple. Forget about rural people. The people like you and me who are even educated, many people doesn't know. They say, okay, linking water with Aadhaar, oh, why is the government doing that? They want to do that. They want to do this. They will say that, okay, right to privacy is affected. But they'll never even know what is the detail of this particular topic. What made the government take this? Previously, has these things happened? And now, what are the advantage and what are criticism? If you want to criticize something, you should be so strong in the other perspective. You should know well about your rights. Only then you'll be able to do that. So now these kind of things are very much required among the common people. These are not topics for you to buy heart, guys. These are topics for you to implement in your practical life. When such kind of situation comes, you can practically talk and take a decision and put forward your solution or way forward there. You know, this is something this is very, very thought-provoking at some point of time. It's becoming more innovative where your brain starts working. Having understood the entire depth of the topic in such a simple manner, how long does it take for an idea or let's say a way forward, a suggestion to come out of your brain? And which you should exercise also because you're aspiring to be the future bureaucrats of the country India, thereby contributing to the process of nation building. So you should actually do it. You understand? Clear? And now, in the previous attempt of this Andhra and Telangana stuff, now you know how did they do that? It's very interesting to see, guys. If you see in Andhra and Telangana, what it is like, they use the methodology. The methodology used in the National Electoral Purification, National Electoral Roll Purification and Authentication Program was that they involved the use of all the State Resident Data Hub application of the government of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So they were able to curate the electoral roll. This is what they did. And then what they actually supplied all those stuff, and this has been supplied by the Aadhaar, the UIDA, or collected further by the state government. So now the State Resident Data Hub, they're giving the state information now on residents without biometrics. You see, without biometrics, they're giving the state information on residents, guys, just like that. So do you think this is really going to benefit? No, this is how they link both data, which can be applied for us also. So this is how it goes. We can just show you how it happens. They start the process. Okay, start the process. What they'll do is they'll enter the Aadhaar number. Okay. Now, the clause is rejected for voting. There is no sort of rejection and all. That is, when you enter the Aadhaar number, they cannot have an option called as reject voting. No, it will not be the case. Then, face recognition. Based on that also, they will not be rejected for voting and all. There is nothing of such clause and all. After the Aadhaar number, after the face recognition, no rejections will happen. Next is eligible for the voting. Okay, the ones who are eligible, they can select the voting button. Normally, they will be eligible. If they are linked properly, they'll be eligible. If you are 18 years and above, yeah, you will be eligible for voting. So now you select the voting button, and now this voting process is done by using the IoT, Internet of Things. Your science and technology comes here because that application has been used here. So that by the IoT, the voting process is done. And once the voting is done on the LCD, now it will be displayed. And now this data is saved by using the Raspberry. Clear? Not the eating wala Raspberry, the software I'm telling you. Did you understand? This is how it is happening, guys. The process I'm telling you in system now, how the process happens. Clear? Perfect. This is just for you to know here the practical perspective of it. And thus, I can tell you that the UIDAI linked to your Aadhaar, they're also restricted to collect data based on caste, religion, or other sensitive information data for Aadhaar. In your Aadhaar, your name, your address, your age, and the Aadhaar number is given. Do they tell whether you belong to OBC, non-creamy layer, whether a SC or ST? Do they mention that in your Aadhaar, guys? Is that shown at any point of time? No. They cannot do that. Now, when you're linking the voter with the Aadhaar, even the private thing, or let's say the private data of you actually has been captured, because in the Aadhaar card it is not there, but which religion you belong, whether you're Muslim, whether you're OBC or whatever, that will be there in the system feed of Aadhaar. So now that, see, you're not showing only your Aadhaar card, that number, what is displayed in the card is different, what is in your hand, the number. But when you put the details in the system, everything from your height, weight, your blood group, sab kuch comes. Your eye identification, fingerprint identification, sab kuch. The moles of your body, identified moles, sab kuch comes. So now you tell me, where do you really have a privacy? And now, though this is a case also, the states can collect this information if required, guys, as a part of Aadhaar data collection also, which means what is the caste, your religion, and also other sensitive information data. So don't you think so? It's having a hit on the privacy? Yes. And now, if at all they want to collect it as a part of Aadhaar data collection, it is called as Know Your Resident, KYR, and Know Your Resident Plus, KYR Plus. Like just like when you go to a bank, you have to fill your name, your date of birth, your marital status, your address, and all. Why? It's called as Know Your Customer for the verification process to open a bank account and stuffs like that. The same thing. Clear? Yes, Yella, privacy is absolutely challenged. No doubt. That's why I said, does it violate, linking of Aadhaar with voter, does it violate the fundamental right of privacy was a question I gave in the post, because I wanted you guys to think in that level. See, when you study this topic, I'm very damn sure that even the other current affairs class, when you study, they would have taught you the heading as linking voter ID with Aadhaar, or what are the benefits or disadvantages criticism. But nobody would have focused on the point like, does it affect or does it violate the fundamental of right of privacy? So I wanted to bring this article in that context by showing you the advantage, the significance, and the benefits of the so-called amendment, and then the criticism, instead of directly starting with the criticism. Because you should know all these things and then you come to this. And then you make a choice. Because out of that only the way forward or suggestion should come. That is why the topics are framed like that. Clear? Now, how did Election Commission of India use this data, guys? If you see, previously, if you see Election Commission of India, not a link and all, now they use the state resident data applications to curate electoral rolls. Now, when they did that, you know what happened? It led or resulted in the deletion of a seizable number of voters from the list of Telangana in the year 2018. So what was there also, fatafat khatam ho gayi, that's it. And now this is not just Telangana, guys, but across India, the Election Commission of India, they already linked Aadhaar and voter IDs of close to 30 crore people, resulting in voter deletions. And that is an unstarred question, guys, as per the Rajya Sabha of Jan 2019. This is a very big issue. You think it's a joke? No, it's a very big issue to be considered. It is 30 crore people, guys. It has already been linked. And that has led to the deletion, guys, voter deletion also. And now, the next important point is, having understood the criticism, advantage, benefits, sab kuch like that. Why the Aadhaar voter ID link must be stopped? Why? Point number one. The next important thing, I felt I should bring this also. Criticism is different and the strong reasons why you should really stop is also different. Directly to the face, these reasons are coming out, guys. No door-to-door verification. A Right to Information Act data, they shows that door-to-door verification will get subsumed now. There is nothing as such. So that is one reason why the linkage must be stopped. Point number 2. It affects universal adult suffrage. That is universal franchise. Now I told you yesterday now what is adult suffrage. That is universal franchise of voting and stuff. So that is affecting that. Now, a software algorithm, okay, commissioned by the government, that is maintained by whom? A private IT company now. Just understand, a software algorithm which is put forward by the government. Today, a private IT company is maintaining it. And you know what the government is saying? They're saying it is under the PPP concepts, public-private partnership concept. I don't understand what logic is that. Anyways, now you understand that it's a private company again. There's a threat of data misplacing also. So now, the Election Commission of India, subjecting key electoral rolls to surveillance software damages the concept of universal franchise or universal adult suffrage. And if you take into consideration the previous attempts or experiences in the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, that is highlighting or throwing light on voter suppression and disenfranchisement as well. So now, this is the very, very solid reason, guys, why you should not even think of linking your Aadhaar to voter ID. But 30 crore people have already done, yeah, that is a different thing. Not just Telangana and Andhra, across many states and UTs of our country, India. But now they're going to make it even more compulsory. You understand? Yes, PK? After ECI topic, you took this one. It will be very good for remembering. Yes, that is the reason I brought this. Because many people told me this topic before, but I was wondering how to put it forward. Because if I take this, it will take another 2 hours. Talking about election commission, the fair transparency stuff and all. So once you're done with that, this becomes even more easy because you know what is happening with regard to the election commission itself. So all these kind of things will be quite simplified for you people to grasp it when we go in a systematic manner. Now, the next important reason why you should not actually, link your voter with voter ID with Aadhaar is compromises secret ballot system. They really compromise that, your secret ballot system. That is, the linking was primarily to build a biometric dependent voting system, guys, from the very, very beginning. That is true. That is basically for that they did. But now, a mock or a temporary election, which is conducted in the state of Telangana by the State Election Commission with all the smartphones using the facial recognition, voter ID, Aadhaar number, phone number for authentication while voting. Now, you did all this. Very good. You want to be more transparent and stuff like that. But don't you think so? This method is killing the secret ballot system. Where is secrecy there? Where is the privacy there? And thus, in the electronic or the e-voting malware that can be used to change the outcome of election, which means the number one kallatharam. The number one bloody kallatharam is happening there. Such a ridiculous stuff it is, guys, to really link it without even understanding it is compromising the secret ballot system. You see, even the electronic voting malware, they can be used for what? For changing the outcome, which means the winning party will be decided based on the so-called political propaganda that they wanted. You understand? So where is the credibility and authenticity of the election perspective? All these becomes a big question mark. Clear? You never expected now, guys, this particular point will come. This outcome of election could be changed, but that is the reality. Let me tell you that. And thus, talking about the election amendment bill of 2021, while the present bill does not look into large-scale e-voting, electronic voting, thus there is an issue of what? Ensuring electoral integrity. Where is electoral integrity? It has not been ensured because the current bill doesn't even talk about that on a large scale. Clear? Yes, Rao. Yes, ma'am. You answered my question also. You are nice. Oh, thank you. Yes, PK and Rao. Thank you for all the comments. Now, did you understand, guys, the reality of this? Why you should not link voter ID with Aadhaar? Very valid points. And now, you compare these with the advantage. I taught you the advantage and the significance and the criticism also. So now, keeping all these things and the background understanding of the electoral ID amendments and stuff, you should do a comparison now because that only will make you understand what exactly it is. Hai na? Then, profiling of people that I told you. The linkage will help political parties create voter profiles and they'll start influencing, giving money, doing that, doing this. So, automatically they'll be inclined to vote for them. So, it's kind of their, they'll influence in any way they want. That is actually not a nice thing. Hannah, that is a biggest disadvantage. Next is an edge for parties in power. Today, online trends, guys, on the day of voting and micro-targeting voters, using the data will make it quite easy for political parties in power to use data for elections. That is, for example, whichever ruling party. Today we have BJP. Let me be very honest to you. Be it BJP, be it Congress, be it any other party. Today, since we have BJP, it becomes very easy for them. You understand? It becomes very easy for them to use these data. I never say that they will use the data. I'm telling you that it becomes even more easy for them using their power. It's all the power and money that matters, guys. They can use all these data for the elections and they can make sure that they are winning the next election, which is again a corruption or fraudery stuff. You understand? Be it any parties. The ruling party can do that using power. That is not the thing. You should not give an edge for parties in power to do that. That is absolutely ridiculous. And thus, a ruling coalition will always have an advantage with the data it process. No doubt in that. So, it can announce welfare schemes based on, again, beneficiaries. So now, such kind of things are becoming one-sided. Why one-sided? It's not to offend or defend any political party, guys, but it's the reality. We know what is happening. Now, it's the second term of BJP, right? In our country, the ruling party is there. Now, the second term is to be questioned today. Why many people are saying the second term is to be questioned is because the authenticity, the credibility of the election commission with regard to the voting, the EVM, all these things, fatafat, they're putting it now. Now, the third term, don't even say that, there is a possibility for them to come, because that is why these issues are brought out. Because it's, see, a party winning is different, a ruling is different, but then such kind of things have to be understood. See, tomorrow if somebody is coming and telling me or criticizing, how can Nisha ma'am talk about these things in public? There is nothing wrong in talking anything in public. You are not offending or defending anybody or harassing anybody or passing a false statement. No, you are telling the reality in a generalistic perspective. It could be any political party, because currently the ruling party is so and so. I told this, so people are kind of thinking. Tomorrow it could be another party. See, I am not belonging to any political party or anything, but as an individual, as a common citizen, as the Indian citizen having the right to express, with the freedom of expression, the freedom of thought, I am talking this. And as also as a teacher, because we're analyzing this topic, so the advantage and disadvantage have to be taught like that. You should never influence anybody with the thought process you have, but don't fear to say what you want in a nice way, in a diplomatic way. That also you should start studying, guys, because for the interview perspective, UPSC and all, they will see whether you're biased or not biased. So be very careful. Clear? Yes, Ravi, slowly WhatsApp, FB, etc. would be allowed linking. Oh my goodness. Already WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, sab kuch is linked with the software called as Meta, MET, Metaverse. You remember? That is different. But do not know when they will start linking this to the voter perspective. Pata nahi kya hai, when the privacy is going to be affected. Then you cannot even think of talking to anybody here. There is no privacy at all. Anyways. Did you understand? And next is issue of fake Aadhaar. The next reason why you should not actually link your voter ID with Aadhaar is the issue of fake Aadhaar that I told you. See, Aadhaar itself has several fake and duplicate names here. One person can have different stuffs like that. So automatically what happened? It will create a lot of complexities in the voter database, which will be hard to fix. This happened to me also once. It doesn't mean that I had a fake Aadhaar. Due to a spelling mistake, guys. My name is Nisha Nujumudeen, made it Nujumudeen, and my fingerprint was not registered properly that time. Okay. But they got the fingerprint or something, with that they did. But Aadhaar card is not coming for me after application. During my school days, this happened. We were wondering why everybody in my family got, even the ones who applied after me got, but I didn't get. Then again, it took me 3 years, not 3, 2 years again for the whole process. And then after going, issuing, telling it is not proper and all, we had to apply once again. Take the previous data, do that. Oh my goodness, it really took the juice out of my brain, where I was so pissed off. Because see, it appeared as if I have an Aadhaar already in a fake Aadhaar. I don't know what was that. Because even one small change in the name can cause a lot of issues. And the address and so many stuffs like that. Where the number was denied for me. The number itself didn't come for me. So then we had to regenerate and stuffs like that. Oh my goodness. But through that, what I understood is that there are people who are having fake Aadhaar also. Because this process now, because it's fake Aadhaar, it will introduce errors in electoral rolls. And vastly that is going to impact the country, India's electoral democracy, guys. No doubt in that. And I have seen people with the fake Aadhaar also. Different citizens or people from different countries, people within our country, India itself, for different perspective, they have fake Aadhaar with different names and stuff. But now you say that, ma'am, we have the biometric identification of the thumb and the eyes stuff. It is said that the eye impression, okay, or the eye identification and the thumb impression cannot be the same for anyone. It is absolutely unique stuff. But in spite of that, how is this fake Aadhaar coming? So multiple things like this have to be understood. Clear? Now, having understood this, what can you do? We have spoke about everything, the pros, the cons, the important significance, and also the strong, valid reason why you should not even think of linking voter with Aadhaar. But in spite of that, we know 30 crore people of our country, India, has already done that. But what you can do hereafter, that is the next question, the way forward. Make sure that, point number 1, there is a reform in the legislative procedure. So what the government should do is they must invite public opinion and allow a very clear-cut, deeper parliamentary scrutiny, guys, before implementing any new provisions. And please understand, it is of very, very importance in the parliamentary democracy like India, guys, that not just the ordinary citizens, but the elected representatives are not being deprived of their rights and opportunities. See, that is very important, guys. See, parliamentary democracy is not only for citizens, even the elected representative, they should never be deprived of any of their rights and opportunity, guys. That is also very, very important. So now, reforms or changes in the legislative procedure is very, very important, because inviting public opinion by the government and allowing for a deeper or a stronger parliamentary scrutiny or review before implementing any new provisions will make a lot of sense in really understanding the situation or scenario, so such kind of blunders doesn't happen. Clear? And thus providing a pure debate with regard to or let's say having the option of understanding both the sides, pros and cons, and then welcoming the way forward is very important. So thus a productive debate raising the concerns as well as the significance importance of the proposed bill is essential. Why? What are we doing in a class? We are having an active debate, like discussion, talking about the advantage, disadvantage, the criticisms, and every single perspective, and each of these things we are giving importance. So now this will enable you to identify and eliminate the concerns a legislation may pose. Accordingly, a new solution can come forward. Don't you think so? This is something which is very naturalistic here. And now, you are talking that we want to link Aadhaar for voter ID because you want to eliminate deduplication and multiple entries and all. There is a way for that also. Just by linking voter ID to Aadhaar only will not do the purpose. There is another way for it, which means there are alternative ways for eliminating deduplication. That is, there are indeed issues of voters being registered in more than one constituency, or let's say the enrollment of non-citizen. But these can be addressed by other identification process also. It's not like they don't have a way. There is a way. In fact, I can tell you that whatever Aadhaar database, okay, they may even be irrelevant to verify the voter identity. Why? Because it is an identifier of residents, not citizens here. Aadhaar is like anybody who's a resident can get it. Does it show that you should be a real citizen? No. You may not even be a real citizen. So now how can we say that is a way for eliminating deduplication? So there are indeed another number of ways. Identification ways you can actually eliminate deduplication. Clear? And thus the next way forward is there is a need for comprehensive legislation, guys, which means that an error-free electoral roll is sine qua non of a free and fair election, because it's a pre-required condition for a fair, transparent, free election, guys. No doubt in that. And the electoral roll should be error-free with no duplications and other perspectives. And the government should also come with a comprehensive bill so that proper discussions can take place in the parliament, where the pros and cons and multiple things can be put forward. And also such kind of bill, guys, the amendment bill should specify the extent of data. That is, to what extent you can share the data between two databases, the method through which consent will be obtained, and whether the consent is there to link the database can be revoked. Multiple things like this is required. Simply, just like that, you cannot make something as a rule without the opinions or the consent of the public out there, because it is questioning their privacy, their citizenship, and not their residentship. See, citizenship and residentship is totally two different things, which has to be understood by the government, right? And that's the most important thing, guys. Make sure the privacy is not even being affected in 0.1%. Ensuring the privacy of citizen is the most important way forward for this particular topic. So thus, before pursuing the Aadhaar voter, or before going for the linkage of Aadhaar voter ID integration, the government shall first go for enacting something called as PDP law. What is that? Personal Data Protection Law. First, let them do that. Then let them think about linking all these things. Let there be a personal data protection law, guys. And now this PDP law that must also apply to the government entities and require them to obtain explicit consent of an individual before sharing their data across various government institutions. Because where is the privacy of you? You do not want to share your number, your address proof to somebody for any database. In future, it can lead to any issues. Today, you may not feel it, but tomorrow it could. So without the consent, this shouldn't actually be, put forward. Clear? So ensuring privacy is very, very important. For that, the one-stop solution is go for enacting. The government should go for enacting the PDP law, Personal Data Protection Law. Not only for this topic, guys, even for the Pegasus software and other leakage, now the national security versus right to privacy. In that perspective, also this can be useful, because right to privacy of citizen is very, very important. That is, you and me, we are the citizens. So don't you think so? Ensuring right to privacy is indeed the need of the hour. Exactly, it is the need of the hour. No doubt in that. Clear? And thus, the conclusion is none other than a very simplified way, guys, a kind of diplomatic one, or let's say a balanced one, I can tell you. If the government really has no ulterior motive, or let's say some other hidden motive in the form of triggering mass deletions from the so-called electoral rolls, then they must invite. If they don't have such kind of intention, let me tell you that. If the concerned government who's ruling has no such kind of intentions means, then they will invite public opinion. Otherwise, such kind of linkage and voting of Aadhaar and voter ID will keep going on. Because that is leading to a lot of deletions from the electoral rolls. If they really don't have any other motive, then what they will do is, if the government is in such a thing, that they let them prove. Let them prove that they are doing it by inviting the public opinion and allowing for a deeper parliamentary scrutiny before implementing such kind of new provisions, guys, that now have the approval of both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. On the day itself, it got approved. How? Unanimously. That's something that's very surprising, right? So now that is only actually creating a lot of rust as whether this has to be looked in or looked out or something like that. So this is something to be understood in a very, very positive manner. So having understood linking of voter ID with Aadhaar, the pros, the cons, the significance, the benefits of it, the criticisms and the strong valid points, why not, and the way forward, most importantly, what you can do to make it even more better with a balanced conclusion. I hope this session has enriched you people. So thank you so much, my young officers. And that was a great topic for the day, I believe. So don't forget to like the video, put your valuable feedbacks in the comment box, and also you can tell me what are the topics that you need in the upcoming days as well. Okay, so we'll start the 6 a.m. early morning class for the current topics in news for UPSC with such kind of topics. So now you tell me, linking voter rolls with Aadhaar, does it violate the fundamental right of privacy? Yes or no? Yes, it is. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to immediately invite the public opinions and do a deeper parliamentary scrutiny before such kind of thing has been implemented, because this particular bill has got the approval of both the House of Parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So this has to be really considered. Don't you think so? So this is the answer to this particular question what I've asked you people. So did you really enjoy this session, guys? Yes, Ram ma'am, please upload PDF from Telegram. Yeah, I will do that. Don't worry. Yes, PK ma'am, electoral bond topic is best after this, I think. You want electoral bond? Let me see if there is a controversy or a debatable thing in electoral bond. If so, I'll bring it tomorrow. I think tomorrow is Saturday, na? Tomorrow you have some other topic, I think. Let me check. If possible, I'll bring. Don't worry. Here's LM public opinion. Very good. Yeah, that is a valid point. See, we never say you don't do all this. Already 30 crore people ka data has been linked with Aadhaar and voter. Then what is there for the remaining population? So now, when you do such kind of thing, make sure that you are doing it, taking into consideration the other perspectives, and then go for it. In a haribari fatafat ka thing, na, just don't do it, because that is kind of giving a loophole as to, okay, the political propaganda is directly related. So why? That is actually a bad image which has been, or let's say it's something that is projecting the ruling government in a bad way. See, maybe they would not have done it intentionally, guys, but you see how it is projecting them. You understand? So now multiple things like this has to be understood. Clear? Yes, Deva? Ma'am, what about that group? Separate group for morning session. Yes, Deva, we have to have a separate WhatsApp group for 6 a.m. class. I think Kunal, Soham, you and LM, all these people, they are regular learners, right? Ravi, Tejas is having my number also, I believe. You can just start it and add these regular learners. Okay. Perfect. So yes, once again, a small reminder to you people, when the clock strikes 6 p.m. in the evening, come for this UPSC level MCQs for Prelims 2022, guys, with a 360-degree coverage in the Unacademy app. Download the app. The link is given in the, chat box. It is pinned up there. It will take you to my profile. Click on this link, special class ka link, and use the code Nisha IAS Live and make sure that you are watching those sessions. Clear? So yes, thank you so much, my young officers. Have a great morning. Have a great day. Once again, a small reminder of the motivational quote that I told you today. Be strong but not rude. Be kind but not weak. Be humble but not timid. And be proud but not arrogant. Keep this in mind. Have a great start of the day. A happy Friday, Juma Mubarak to all of you as well. See you all very soon today at 6 p.m. for the so-called UPSC level MCQ class, and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is Saturday, guys. This particular series is only from Monday to Friday. But tomorrow, taking into consideration the request from you people, we will have an early morning 6 a.m. special series. Clear? So, chalo, bye-bye. Thank you so much, my young officers. Have a great day. Jai Hind.